Choose yourself. Listen, learn to choose yourself. Pour into yourself. Because when you pour into yourself, you will be strong enough. You will be ready. You will be in a better position to give to others and to pour to others. I've shared this before. I was in a serious relationship, long-term relationship, loved up, booed up, and and I was just waiting for the ring, and it was just like, yeah, like I was ready to get married. I was ready to have kids. I was ready, right? However, I realized that I didn't know myself. I realized that there was a lot that I still needed to tap into in terms of my purpose, my purpose, my calling, in terms of just who I am. Yeah. And you've got people who say things like, well, you can discover who you are while being in a relationship. That's true. That's true, because in life, like, there'll be times where you might even lose yourself, and you need to find yourself all over again. Like, does that mean that you're going to break up every single relationship just because you need to find yourself all over again? No. But what I'm referring to is the foundation of me. The foundation of me was broken. So how could I build with somebody else if my very own foundation was not, like, it was non-existent? I didn't know who I was. I knew that I was talented. I knew that I was gifted. I knew that there were things that I wanted to do. I've always, I've always been someone who's wanted more. However, I just didn't know what that more was. And I didn't know my why. I didn't know who I was here to serve. I needed to go back to my manufacturer. Like, I needed to go back to God and be like, God, wagwan, fam. Wagwan. And it's one of those things where it's like, I needed to really figure things out for myself. I needed to choose myself at that moment. And to be honest, that was the very, very first time I chose myself. Because prior to that, I had always thought about what other people needed, how I can help other people, how I can be there for other people. I was very much a people pleaser. I was very much anxiously attached. I was very much just, inside that, that little girl that didn't grow up with her parents from the beginning, was in foster care. There was so many layers that needed me to pay attention to. Like, I needed to attend to those things. And it's one of those things where I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with somebody else in my life. I just couldn't do that with somebody else in my life. So I walked away. Like, I stepped back. And for me, it was like, I've got to choose myself right now. I've got to choose myself right now. And if we're supposed to be, and later on we're supposed, then that's the case. But if not, then that's totally fine as well. But for me, it got to a point where it was like, right now, I rather find myself than sit around with a ring on my finger just to say that I'm married, just to say that, yes, someone chose me. If you're in a place where you're wanting someone to choose you, you're wanting someone to put the ring on the finger, you're wanting someone to propose, you need to ask yourself, would you choose you? And have you chosen you? And how often do you choose you? And it's not about being selfish. It's about understanding who you are. Like when I say choose you, like choosing yourself, I'm not, it's not about, yeah, cut them off and lock them off. Like, it's not even about that. It's about you understanding who you are. Why are you here? Why are you on this earth? Do you know? So you don't know why you're on this earth. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You don't even know what you like. But you want someone else to choose you. What are they choosing? What is it exactly that they're choosing? What is it? What is it are they choosing? What do you want them to choose? Who do you want them to choose? If you don't know who you are. It's deep. It's deep, especially if you've been through childhood trauma. If that person cares about you that you're with, ask them for space and they will give you space in order for you to do that. But for me, it wasn't even about asking for space. For me, it was about going away because I didn't know how long I was going to go for. I didn't know how long I was going to go for. I just knew I had to walk away. It wasn't about anybody else but me. And for so long, like due to my childhood, I've always looked to my foster parents, my adopted parents, my mum, like my dad, like I've always wondered why didn't they pick me, and why didn't they want me, why didn't they raise me, and blah blah blah. And when I got into a relationship and I was so in love, and it was like, oh my gosh, this man chose me, oh soon he's gonna put a ring on my finger, oh my gosh. I look back now and I laugh. I used to idolize marriage, and it wasn't even marriage that I was idolizing. I was idolizing the wedding. Because I wanted people to see that I was chosen. I wanted to be chosen. And that came from a bruised place. That was not coming from a healthy place. So I needed to choose myself. I needed to choose myself. Now I'm in a place where now I can have a conversation about marriage. Now I'm ready to get married. Because I understand who I am and I love myself. See the way I love myself. I love myself so much. Now I know how to love somebody else. Before I didn't know how to love somebody else. Before I just wanted to be picked. I just wanted them to pick me. I just wanted them to be with me. I just wanted to, like happy couple and all of that stuff. Bullshit. And I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. And I feel like if I'm going to create a healthy, safe environment for us, I have to be honest. Obviously, I'm not going to share everything. That's my boundary. There's things that I'm not going to come on here and share, but that's my boundary. That's what I'm choosing to keep for myself. I don't talk about my love life, and you won't catch me coming here talking about my love life. However, if the Holy Spirit is leading me to talk about something, I'm going to have to talk about it. And today it just happens to be my previous relationship. So yeah, I chose me. I chose myself. This is not, listen, it's not to say anything negative about that person. They're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I had some serious issues and I needed to work on it. I needed to work on it. I needed to work on it, and I needed to pick myself. I needed to pick myself. I needed to pick myself. I needed to fall in love with myself. I needed to give to myself what I was begging and wanting others to give me, and crying that I'd never received that. I needed to give all of that love to myself. And the more I did that, I'm telling you, like, I got to learn my hobbies. I got to learn, you know, what I like, what I don't like. I got to learn my attachment style, my love languages. I got to understand, you know, my culture. I got to understand, like, I even went to Angola. Like, I went to Angola. I went to really understand my culture, my background, my family tree. There's bag of work that I done. I had bare work. I had so much work. Now I can sit here and say, right, yeah, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I know exactly who I am. I know who I am. Now I can get married. Now I can have a child and look at this child and say, Mommy knows who she is. I know who I am. Yeah, I know who I am. I had to do it for me. Now I can have kids. There's no way that I could have had kids before. There's no way, because I was too broken. I don't know how, I don't know. I just, the fact that I wanted to get married before is crazy. But you know what? It's that thing that, you know, us women, from early, we're sort of like brought up to be a wife. You know, we learn to cook early. We learn to clean the house and do all the things that a wife is supposed to do. Like, now I'm in a place where it's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for marriage. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to be a mum. Now I'm ready for parenthood. But I had to deal with my stuff. You have to deal with your stuff. Especially if you've had childhood trauma, you have to deal with your stuff. You have to look at the very foundation of you. Now my foundation is solid. It's strong because I've taken the time, brick by brick, brick upon brick upon brick. I've taken the time to work on myself, self-education. Yeah? And not just that, like, oh, you lot. It's been work. It's been work. And it's like, are you even willing to break up a 10-year relationship to choose yourself? Are you willing? Are you willing? Everybody was looking at me crazy. Like, everyone was looking at me crazy like, what? That's a good man, Savannah. Like, that's a good man. And you've literally just let him go like that. Yeah, that was a good man. But I didn't even know if I was a good woman. We're always wanting to idolize others. We're always wanting to put men on a pedestal. We're always wanting to, yeah, this is what I want. If whoever I want has to be here and whatever. What are you? Where are you? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically even. I was unhealthy in all of those very unhealthy. I was unhealthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I needed therapy. I needed to hit the gym. I needed to do my big chop. Yes, I did my big chop. I did I did the big chop. Whoop. I did the big chop, right? Cut my hair off. Find yourself. Find yourself before going to say I do to somebody else. Because what are you saying I do to? Who is even saying I do? What are you I doing? Now I can say I do. Now I can confidently say, yeah, I do. Put a ring on my finger. We're ready. Let's walk this walk. Because I know who I am. Yeah? And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I wasn't disappointed with the fact that it didn't happen that way. You know, because for me, it's like I've always wanted a fairy tale story. Like I've always wanted that, oh my gosh, we knew each other since we were young. I've always romanticized stuff. But now I'm like, I'm in the real world, boo. Don't get me wrong, I'm still now I'm a hopeful romantic. I'm no longer a hopeless romantic. What? Hopeless romantic? Who? I'm hopeful. And yes, I'm still romantic. And yes, I still love romance and all of that great stuff. However, I'm in the real world. Yeah, all of that's in here, that was in here, it's not that anymore. It's not that anymore. It's just not that. And I say this, if I had gotten married at that point in my life, I would have been divorced. I would have gotten divorced. And I'm not trying to speak divorce over my life, but what I'm saying is I weren't ready. I weren't ready for marriage. I weren't ready. Are you ready? You need to sit down and say, are you ready? What are you doing this for? Are you doing it for the Instagram pics? Are you doing it because of your insecurities? Are you doing it to soothe that little girl inside of you that wished her father was around? That wished her mother was around? Nah. You need to know, before you join lives, marriage, hey, before you join lives with somebody else, what does your own look like? Now I'm like, okay, cool, you know, now I can join my life with somebody else. Now I'm ready. But before, I had no business. I had no business joining my life with anybody. I didn't. Sometimes we like to move like, you know, that we're the perfect one, and yeah, the relationship's done because the person, no one cheated. Yeah, no one cheated. I didn't cheat, he didn't cheat. It wasn't an abusive relationship. It was a very loving relationship. Yes, it was toxic at some points here and there, you know, but ultimately it was a lovely relationship. But I had to choose myself. I had to go off and say, right, let me say I do to myself before I say I do to somebody else. So here I am. Here I am. Yeah. And I've done the work. I've done the work after choosing myself, and I feel absolutely amazing. I feel absolutely amazing. And love has returned. Love has returned because guess what? Love has always been within me. But what I'm saying is I've come back with more than enough. I've come back with more than enough. Now I know how to love somebody else because I know how to love myself. Damn. Who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought that that this would have been me? I always thought about the dress. I thought about the dress that I wanted. I thought about who, what the venue would have looked like. I thought about everything to do with the wedding. Nothing to do with the marriage. I didn't know the meaning of marriage. I didn't understand the meaning of a union, what it really meant. And on top of that, I didn't know the meaning of love, self-love. Yeah, it's been work. It's been work. It's not been easy. I was one of those people who I thought I was going to get married before everybody else. I thought I was going to get married before everybody else, simply because I was in a relationship the longest and things like that, and it was heading towards that way and things like that. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, and I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm okay. But now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Now my heart is open. And it's like, it feels good. It feels healthy. It feels organic. It feels, yeah, I feel good. I feel good. So if you feel like you don't know what to do in terms of you're in a relationship, you don't know yourself, you've got bag of trauma, I'm not saying go break up your relationship. That's not what I'm saying. That's what I had to do because that's my journey. Yeah, I had to do that. I felt that I had to leave in order for me to work on myself. I don't know what the journey is for you. It might be that you need to just ask for a break. It might be that, I don't know. I don't know what the journey will look like for you. And yes, it is possible. It is possible to work on yourself and still be in a relationship. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is possible. But do what you believe is best for you. Whatever choosing you looks like, just choose you. Whatever that looks like to you. Whatever that looks like to you. Whatever that looks like. It might be, let's, instead of seeing each other 3 times a week, let's see each other 1 time a week, because I need to pour into myself and I need to figure this thing out and I need to figure out who I am. It might be that. So figure it out. Figure out what you need. But just know that it's a journey. It's a journey, and I didn't know how long the journey was going to be. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know how long the journey was going to be. I just knew that I needed to walk away from that relationship, just because I needed to choose myself. And sometimes the person that you're walking away from, the relationship you're walking away from, that person might feel like they're the issue. They might feel like they've done something wrong. If you know that your reason for walking away is because you're choosing yourself, it's because you're wanting to work on yourself, make that clear. Make that very clear. And that is something that that's a regret that I kind of, I didn't communicate that very well. It was very abrupt. It was very sort of like, I need to go, I need to, I can't do this anymore kind of thing, you know. So communicate, especially if you love the person. Especially if you love the person. And I regret not communicating that. If I could go back, I would have communicated that more lovingly, you know. But yeah, so I'm your personal development coach, C-Positivista. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Literally 90 days. We're about to reach 90 days. Tomorrow is going to be 80 days of posting these videos, and I have learned so much about myself. You know, it's like doing these 90 days posting these videos. It's like I've had a crash course of all the things that I already learned. It's almost like going through a revision book for an exam that you already took. That's what this feels like. And I'm so grateful that I've even done this. I'm so grateful to God for leading me to share the lessons, to share the things that, you know, that I went through, that I'm so grateful, and I'm still learning. So we've got, after tomorrow, we've got 10 more days. It's gone so quick. It's gone so quick. But yeah, so for the purposes of this video, I'm going to end it here. And I'm going to reflect more on the 90 days and the videos I've shared, the topics I've covered, which ones were my favorite, which ones have really, you know, healed me all over again. Like, it's just been absolutely amazing to re-watch the videos myself as well, and kind of just, yeah, it's been a blessing to me, and I really hope that it's been a blessing to you too. Or if you're gonna watch this later on in life, I hope that this video or these videos bless you and teach you a thing or two, and encourage you on your journey as you're healing yourself, as you're choosing yourself, as you're growing, developing yourself. Yeah, man. And I'll see you in the next video.